Now I'm in Colorado. That's where our property management company is located. In Colorado, one of the things we have found is that about 70% of residents come with pets. That means if we're going to say no pets, it's a no pet property, we've cut our market down to only 30% of the potential market we could be reaching if we take pets. And the way the world is working, the way the US is working with individuals coming up in the renters world, they come with pets. They absolutely do. So how do you do that workably with a pet? Do you charge a pet deposit? Do you not? I'm a big believer in not charging a pet deposit, and here's why. Let's pretend for a moment a tenant comes in and you approve the tenant and you're going to charge a security deposit of $1,000. Great, everything's great. And then all of a sudden this tenant says to you at the showing, oh, but by the way, I have a pet. You say, no problem. We do take pets. This is a pet-friendly property. Congratulations, Mr. Tenant. And in order to bring that pet in, all we're going to do is we're going to charge you a pet deposit of $500. So you're going to have your security deposit of $1,000. You're going to have your pet deposit of $500. So we're going to have a deposit total of $1,500. Okay, with me so far? All right, good. Now let's pretend the tenant's in place for a year, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5 years, and they move out, but they did some damage. They're not going to get all their deposit back. As a matter of fact, they owe you some money in rent. They owe you some money in late fees. They knocked a hole in the wall. They owe you some utility bills, so there's some damage there. There's a bunch of money owed, and the total amount due from them off their deposit is $1,500. So you have $1,500 in lost rent, utilities, damages. Okay, that's step 2. So you're still with me. What do? We're doing the security deposit disposition. What can we legally do? Well, let's go back to our lease, because remember what our lease said is we've got a security deposit of $1,000. We've got a pet deposit of $500. And we think, great, I'm going to go ahead and retain the security deposit. This is where it gets tricky, because all you can do legally, if you've classified in your lease, if you've classified the deposit breakdown this way, my question to you is this: can you charge for a hole in the wall or for rent due off of something labeled a pet deposit in the lease? Yeah. Go like this, put your hand to your face, say, no, you can't do that, right? Because you've classified it as a pet deposit. So what you want to do is you want to increase the overall security deposit, which then allows you to access that deposit towards anything. Hopefully that makes sense. See, a pet deposit can only be applied to pet damage. A total security deposit can be applied to anything. It can be applied against pet damage. It can be applied to a utility bill. You can apply it against a hole in the wall. You can use it for whatever you want. So what we do, and what I encourage you to do, is increase the overall security deposit with the pet, but do not classify it on the lease or in any other form or fashion a pet deposit, or else you're locking yourselves into only using that money for pet damage. Hope that makes sense. Now, here's a common question we get as well. Well, gosh, Mark, can I just charge a non-refundable pet deposit? Yes, but be careful on the nuances on this. In most states, you can't charge something that is non-refundable and also a deposit. Those two words mean the opposite. So there are cases of judges saying, yeah, because you labeled it a deposit, it cannot therefore legally be refundable. So you can charge a non-refundable pet fee, but don't call it a non-refundable pet deposit. So we do both, for example. We do charge a pet admin fee if someone's bringing a pet in, and we do also increase the overall security deposit with the pet coming in. Now we also charge a few bucks in additional rent every month, but again, don't call it pet rent. Why? Because what happens when Fluffy the dog dies? Then the tenant comes in and says, I no longer have the pet, so I want my pet rent to go away. No, just increase the overall amount of the rent by whatever dollar amount you're going to do per month. I think that's the most effective way. Random question: can you charge additional security deposit for a service animal? We're asked this question a lot. Now, hopefully you know the answer to this question. So now in this case, the person comes in, but they say, yeah, my Fluffy the dog here, it's actually a service animal. It's an emotional support animal. Could be either one. Can you charge an additional security deposit if you're going to allow that? No. Hopefully you knew the answer to this one. No, you may not do that. Now, we're not going to talk about service animals right now. If that's something you're interested in, we've got some other videos that you can watch on introduction to kind of how to deal with service animal requests. Important stuff. You've got to get this stuff down, or else you're operating at a high degree of risk. So think about that in your pet policy. Don't charge a pet deposit. Charge an overall increase in the security deposit. It'll protect your owner better, and it'll protect you and make it easier to do property management.